So here we go, the Boss Slicer. It's an audio pattern creator with some wild effects in it. It's basically a tremolo on steroids. It has your basic tremolo sounds. You can change the tempo, of course. But it also has some wild patterns in it. You can change the length of the chops. As well as the attack. So it has 50 different patterns in it with 5 banks with 10 patterns. And besides some chopping tremolo sounds, it also has filter and pitch shifting effects in it. Now there's a lesser known feature of this pedal, and that is that it also has a looper inside. And that's what we're gonna talk about today. And to work with the looper, you have to set the pedal mode to latching, which is already in, but you can set it to momentary. And you have to hold down the left foot switch to activate it. You can see the rack light starts blinking, and now it's in looper mode. And before you start recording, you have to press the left foot switch again. So to start it, you're gonna have to press the left foot switch again, and it automatically starts recording. And pressing it again after you record it starts looping this thing. And pressing it again stops it from looping, and then it returns to the bypass state. There are some strange rules that this pedal has when it comes to looping. You know, we're all used to the luxury looping pedals like my Boss RC600, which is of course a deluxe looping station. But also smaller pedals like the Boss RC5 or the older versions, the 1 and the 3. They all have these functions like doing overdubs and starting and stopping the loop like that. All those functions are not present in the Boss Slicer. You can only record a loop and then it starts just playing back. That's the only thing that this thing does, basically. But it also has some nice tricks up the sleeve that other loopers might not have. So let's explore those. Once you start recording the loop, so you can't change the tempo anymore once you start recording. This is also the case with the tap tempo switch. You know, it doesn't work anymore when you start recording the loop. You can't do overdubs. You can't change the tempo. You can also you can't save the loop or anything. When you press the left foot switch after you recorded it, it also automatically deleted also, and you can't recall it. And it's also a weird thing. You know, I've got the direct level turned off right now, so let me turn it back on. I hope you notice, but only the effect is being looped. So the direct sound is not recorded. You can only loop the sliced sounds and not your direct sound. So it doesn't work as a clean loop, or only the affected sounds. Now, as I mentioned before, the tap tempo switch doesn't work when it's in recording mode, but it does something else that's really cool. That's that it restarts the loop when you hit the tap tempo foot switch. So that's a really nice feature to have. It instantly restarts the loop. So you notice you can't change any of the knobs once you've recorded the loop. The only thing that you can change is the direct level and the effect level. Those knobs are the only ones you can change. So yeah, the duty and attack and the kind of pattern and stuff, you can't change that anymore once you've recorded the loop. So that's another limitation that you've got. You can still play over these loops once you turn the direct level up. And that's basically the main feature of this thing. So you can record a loop, you can play over it once you've turned the direct level up. Now, timing wise, I don't know if you noticed, but this thing really quantizes your loops. So because when you misstep the pedal, so it always quantizes your loops along to the next bar. So it's always chopped down into straight bars. So timing wise, this is really great. So once you've recorded it, it will always stay in tempo. So this is a great feature. Oh yeah, and the maximum amount of looping time is 40 seconds. That's a lot of time for a loop, let me tell you that. You might know that it also has some stereo features. So there's 6 different stereo features. Let me get a more stereo sound. So now on your left side you hear the distorted sound, and on the right side you hear a kind of octaves clean sound. Here what happens when I turn on the looper. So it turns it into mono once you've exited looper. So that's really strange. But after that, the stereo function still works. So go to this ping pong setting. So they still work after it's been summed to mono. The stereo function still works. So that's really weird. The stereo functions still work, but only after the input is summed to mono, then these stereo things still work. Only in the looper mode. Now with MIDI tempo coming into the bass slicer, this pedal also reacts a little different. Maybe play a beat on Ableton. You notice the tap tempo switch, you can restart the loop, but now it's quantized to the beat, so it only starts on every beat and not in free form like when there's no MIDI tempo coming into the slicer. So that's really a nice feature. But what happens if you change the tempo of the MIDI clock coming into the slicer? Let me change the MIDI clock tempo. So it always restarts on the first count coming into the MIDI clock. So it always, so it doesn't stay in sync, it doesn't stretch your loop, but it restarts every few bars. So in this case, I've recorded 2 bars. So after 2 bars of incoming MIDI clock, the loop restarts on the slicer. So that's really nice feature to have. So the tempo could also be a little bit fluctuating on the MIDI tempo. But the slicer stays in tempo on the loop mode, so that's really really nice feature. You can also use an expression pedal with the bass slicer. Now, since I have an expression pedal on this board, I can only make the expression pedal control 1 parameter at a time. And in the looper mode, I find it really useful to control the direct level. And I'll show you how to set it up. First of all, you've got the hold the tap switch down and connect the expression pedal. So it starts flashing, and then you have to set the pattern knob to 1 to 5 according to different parameters you want to control with your expression pedal. And for the direct level, you have to set it to 1, and then press the tap tempo again. So now it starts flashing. Now it's off. And so you can set the direct level according to what you want. And now the expression pedal with the toe down position, that's the position you set the pedal to. So. So now it becomes a hands-free looping tool. So when there's let's start with a beat. Turn on the expression pedal, so you only hear the slice patterns. Now you can turn on the expression pedal. The expression pedal is really useful, so it becomes a hands-free experience. You can record a loop with your feet, and then turn on the expression pedal, and so it becomes a nice hands-free looping tool. So yeah, that's the looper inside the Boss Slicer. It's not your typical looper because you can only record those chopped sounds and you can't record any dry sounds. You can't do any overdubs and you can't change any knobs once you've recorded the loop. It's a stereo pedal, but all the stereo sounds are converted to mono once you start recording. And the stereo effects are still available, but only after the input is converted to mono. So only the mono sounds are converted to this nice 6 stereo settings that you've got on this pedal. The nice thing is that it instantly restarts the loop once you hit the tap tempo switch in looper mode. Also a cool feature is that it's always synced to Midi tempo, and once it receives Midi tempo, the tap foot switch restarts the loop, but it's always quantized straight to the beat, so you can't mess that up. And another great feature is that you can hook up an expression pedal, which you can set to control the direct level, which becomes your dry tone after you've created the loops. So yeah, it's a really weird looper, but it has some great unique features, which makes it a little useful as well.